Ladies and gentlemen, there comes a time in every life when the question must be asked, who am I and who am I becoming? Life is not a one-act play. It is a masterpiece of evolving chapters, each calling us to shed the old and embrace the new. Yet too often we stand still, tethered to yesterday's identity, afraid to take the steps that lead to transformation. But hear me when I say this. You are not bound by the expectations of others. You are not confined by the mistakes of your past. Life is a journey, not a destination. It is a river, ever-changing, carving its path through mountains, valleys, and plains, refusing to be confined by the barriers that stand in its way. Too often we treat our lives as though they are set in stone, as though the person we are today must be the person we are forever. But that is not the nature of life. Life calls us to evolve, to grow, to shed the layers of who we were and embrace the infinite possibilities of who we can become. From the moment we are born, we are creatures of transformation. A baby learns to crawl, then walk, then run, each step a testament to the power of reinvention. And yet, somewhere along the way, we forget this truth. We grow comfortable in our routines, trapped in roles we didn't choose, afraid to step beyond the boundaries of what we know. But hear me when I say this. You were not meant to remain static. You were meant to grow. Reinvention is the essence of life. Every sunrise brings a new opportunity to rewrite your story, to reimagine what is possible, to become the person you were destined to be. It is not a denial of who you were. It is an affirmation of your capacity to change. For life is not a single act. It is a series of chapters, and you are the author of every page. But reinvention is not passive. It requires action, intention, and courage. It demands that you confront the patterns that no longer serve you, the habits that keep you small, and the fears that whisper, stay where you are. It means asking hard questions. Who am I now? Who do I want to become? And what steps must I take to get there? The beauty of life's journey is that it is never too late to begin again. You may be standing in the ashes of yesterday, feeling lost, broken, or unsure of your path. But even in the darkest moments, there is a spark within you, a spark of resilience, of hope, of possibility. That spark is your reminder that you are not finished. That spark is your call to rise. To reinvent yourself is to embrace the unknown. It is to step into a new chapter without knowing where it will lead, but trusting that it will take you closer to your truth. It is to understand that failure is not the opposite of success, but a stepping stone on the path to greatness. Every setback, every misstep is a lesson, shaping you, refining you, preparing you for what lies ahead. Life's journey is not a straight path. It is filled with twists and turns, with moments of doubt and moments of triumph. But it is in those moments of reinvention, when you dare to let go of what no longer serves you, that you discover the depth of your strength. It is in those moments that you realize life is not happening to you. It is happening for you. And so I urge you to embrace the journey of transformation. Don't be afraid to let go of the old to make room for the new. Don't be afraid to dream bigger, to reach higher, to become more. For within you lies a wellspring of untapped potential, waiting to be awakened. Life is calling you forward, urging you to step into your greatness. Answer that call. Reinvent yourself. And in doing so, inspire others to believe in their own power to transform. Too often we live as though we are bound by the expectations of others. From the moment we take our first breath, the world begins to define us, naming us, labeling us, shaping us into roles we never chose. The weight of these expectations can feel overwhelming, like chains that tether us to a version of ourselves we no longer recognize. But let me remind you of something powerful. You are not a prisoner to anyone's vision of you. It is tempting to conform, isn't it? To mold ourselves into what the world wants us to be, to meet the standards that society sets, to fulfill the dreams that others have imagined for us. We wear these roles like armor, thinking they will protect us from judgment or rejection. But instead, they stifle us. They keep us small. They prevent us from stepping into the fullness of who we are meant to be. Breaking free from these expectations is not easy. It requires courage. The kind of courage that says, I will not be defined by someone else's story. It demands honesty, the willingness to face yourself and admit that the life you are living may not be the life you want. And it takes strength, the inner resolve to stand firm in your truth, even when the world tries to pull you back. You see, the world often resists change. When you begin to break free from the mold, people may question you. They may doubt you. They may tell you that you're being selfish or reckless or that you've forgotten where you came from. But here is the truth. Reinventing yourself is not a rejection of your past. It is an affirmation of your right to evolve. There is nothing wrong with outgrowing the person you once were. Growth is natural. It is necessary. A seed does not apologize for becoming a tree. A river does not hesitate as it carves a new path. And you should not feel guilty for wanting more, for wanting to redefine yourself, to explore new possibilities, to become someone who feels authentic and true. When you free yourself from the expectations of others, you open the door to discovery. You give yourself permission to dream without limits, to imagine a life that aligns with your values, your passions, your purpose. You begin to see that the only expectations that truly matter are the ones you set for yourself. This is not about rebellion for its own sake. It is not about tearing down every connection or dismissing every responsibility. It is about honoring the deepest parts of yourself, the parts that long to be seen, to be heard, to be celebrated. It is about recognizing that you have the right to choose your path, to write your story, to define what success means to you. There is a freedom that comes with stepping into your truth. It is the freedom to say no to what no longer serves you and yes to what makes your spirit soar. It is the freedom to walk away from roles that confine you and toward opportunities that expand you. It is the freedom to live a life that feels like your own. And when you do this, something remarkable happens. You begin to inspire others. Your courage becomes a beacon for those who are still trapped by expectations, showing them that reinvention is possible. Your authenticity becomes a gift, reminding them that they too have the power to break free and become who they are meant to be. So I urge you, let go of the chains that hold you back. Release the need to fit into someone else's vision. Embrace the freedom to define yourself on your own terms, in your own time. The world will adjust, and those who truly matter will celebrate your growth. Reinvent yourself. And in doing so, reclaim the life that has always been waiting for you. Change is often met with fear, isn't it? The very thought of stepping into the unknown, of leaving behind what we know, can make us hesitate. But let me tell you something about courage. It is not the absence of fear. It is the decision to move forward in spite of it. Courage is a quiet voice within that whispers, "You can do this," even when doubt is screaming louder. Reinvention requires courage because it demands that you confront the parts of yourself that you have hidden away. It asks you to step outside the comfort of familiarity and into the discomfort of growth, and that can feel terrifying. After all, what if you fail? What if the path you take leads to disappointment? What if the person you want to become is too far out of reach? These are the questions that keep so many people standing still. But the truth is, Staying where you are comes at a price. The comfort zone may feel safe, but it is also a cage. It keeps you from stretching, from striving, from discovering the depths of your own potential. And if you listen closely, you'll hear a voice, a small but persistent voice, urging you to break free. That voice is courage. It doesn't always roar. Sometimes it is a soft, steady presence that reminds you of what is possible. Courage is not about eliminating fear. It is about acknowledging it and choosing to act anyway. It is about trusting that even if you stumble, even if you fall, you have the strength to rise again. The journey of reinvention is not a straight line. There will be setbacks. There will be moments when the road ahead feels too steep, too uncertain. But courage is what allows you to take the first step and then the next, even when you can't see the entire path. Courage is what helps you to face the voices, both external and internal, that say, you can't do this, and to reply, watch me. It takes courage to dream. It takes courage to believe that you are worthy of a new beginning. And it takes courage to let go of the old habits, old mindsets, old versions of yourself, to make room for the new. But every time you choose courage, you grow stronger. Every time you face your fear, you expand your capacity to handle whatever comes next. Courage is also contagious. When you dare to reinvent yourself, you inspire others to do the same. Your bravery becomes a beacon, showing those around you that transformation is possible. Your willingness to take risks encourages others to confront their own fears and step into their own truth. And in this way, your courage doesn't just change your life. It creates a ripple effect that touches the lives of others. Remember this: the person you want to become is not out of reach. They are already within you, waiting for you to give them permission to emerge. All it takes is the courage to begin. You don't need to have all the answers. You don't need to see the entire staircase. You just need to take the first step, trusting that the path will reveal itself as you go. And yes, you may stumble, you may even fall, but every stumble is a lesson. And every fall is an opportunity to rise stronger than before. Courage doesn't promise that the journey will be easy, but it does promise that it will be worth it. So dare to take that step. Dare to face your fear. Dare to believe in your power to change, to grow, to reinvent yourself. Because the life you want, the person you want to become, is waiting for you on the other side of fear. Reinvention is rarely a smooth journey. It is filled with trials, setbacks, and moments when you may question your strength to continue. But let me tell you this: resilience is the foundation upon which transformation is built. Without resilience, the desire to change remains a fleeting dream, swept away at the first sign of difficulty. Resilience is what keeps you grounded, what keeps you moving, what reminds you that even when the road is hard, you are capable of overcoming it. Life will test you, that much is certain. It will throw challenges in your path, obstacles that seem insurmountable, and when you begin to reinvent yourself, the resistance may grow stronger. You may face doubts, criticism, and even rejection. But here is the truth. Every trial is an opportunity to grow. Every setback is a chance to build the strength you didn't know you had. Resilience doesn't mean you will never feel discouraged. It doesn't mean you will never stumble or doubt yourself. It means you find a way to rise each time you fall. It means you choose to keep going even when the odds seem stacked against you. Resilience is not just about enduring, it's about learning, adapting, and growing stronger through every experience. Think of the tree that bends in the storm. The winds howl, the rain pours, and yet it stands firm, its roots deep in the earth. It doesn't resist the storm, it moves with it, knowing that it will pass. And when the sun shines again, the tree stands taller, stronger, its roots even deeper than before. That is resilience, and that is what you must cultivate in yourself as you embark on the journey of reinvention. Let the manner of your flesh lead you ever closer, the plant of healing and regeneration. To reinvent yourself is to face uncertainty, to venture into the unknown. And yes, the unknown can be frightening, but resilience is what allows you to keep moving forward even when the path is unclear. It is what helps you to see failure not as a sign to stop, but as a stepping stone on the road to success. It reminds you that every great transformation is born from persistence. But resilience is not just an internal force. It is something we build through connection. Surround yourself with people who uplift you, who encourage you to keep going when you feel like giving up. Seek out those who remind you of your strength when you've forgotten it yourself. Resilience grows when we lean on others, when we allow ourselves to be supported, and when we draw inspiration from those who have walked similar paths. There will be times when the weight of change feels too heavy to bear. In those moments, remember this: you are stronger than you think. Every challenge you have faced in your life has prepared you for this moment. Every time you have fallen and risen again, you have proven your resilience. You carry within you the strength of all those experiences, and that strength will carry you forward. Resilience doesn't mean you have to face every challenge alone. It doesn't mean you have to be unshakable or fearless. It means you keep showing up, even when it's hard. It means you hold on to hope, even when the way forward seems unclear. It means you trust that every step, no matter how small, is bringing you closer to the person you want to become. So when the road gets tough, and it will, remember that resilience is your anchor. It is your power to rise, to adapt, to overcome. Every time you get back up, you are proving to yourself and the world that you are unstoppable. And in that persistence, in that refusal to give up, you are already transforming into the person you were always meant to be. One of the greatest barriers to reinvention is fear. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of change itself. Fear is a natural part of life. It whispers warnings and tries to keep us safe. But too often, fear oversteps its bounds. It doesn't just warn us, it traps us. It convinces us that the unknown is too risky, that we are better off staying where we are. But let me tell you this: fear is not meant to be a jailer. It is meant to be a guide, a signal that you are stepping into something new, something worthwhile. Fear and comfort go hand in hand. Comfort lulls us into believing that where we are is good enough, that the safety of familiarity is preferable to the uncertainty of growth. Comfort tells us, stay here, it's easier. But what it doesn't tell you is that comfort can also be a thief. It can steal your dreams, your ambitions, your potential. It keeps you from reaching higher, from exploring the edges of what is possible. Reinvention requires letting go of both fear and comfort. It means looking at the things you have clung to, the routines, the habits, the excuses, and recognizing that they no longer serve you. It means choosing to step into the discomfort of change, even when every instinct urges you to turn back. Because here's the truth: the life you want, the person you want to become, is not waiting for you in your comfort zone. They are waiting on the other side of fear. Letting go doesn't mean ignoring your fear. It means acknowledging it, understanding it, and then moving forward despite it. Fear can teach you about the things that matter most to you. It can show you where you feel vulnerable, where you need to grow. But it should never dictate your choices. When fear tries to hold you back, Remind yourself that courage is not the absence of fear. It is the decision to act in spite of it. And letting go of comfort doesn't mean abandoning everything you know. It means challenging yourself to grow beyond it. Growth is inherently uncomfortable. It stretches you, pushes you, demands more of you than you may think you can give, but it also rewards you with something far greater than comfort could ever offer: a sense of purpose, of fulfillment, of living a life that feels authentic and true. And the process of letting go is not easy. It requires self-awareness to recognize what is holding you back and self-discipline to release it. It may mean walking away from opportunities that no longer align with your goals, or relationships that no longer nurture your spirit. It may mean taking risks, stepping into the unknown, and trusting that the ground will appear beneath your feet. But as difficult as it is, letting go is also liberating. It frees you from the weight of fear, from the constraints of comfort, and opens the door to possibility. When you let go, you make room for new opportunities, new experiences, and new versions of yourself to emerge. You create space for growth, for reinvention, for transformation. And as you let go, you begin to realize that the things you feared losing were not as vital as you once believed. You discover that the strength you thought came from your comfort zone actually comes from within you. You learn that you are capable of more than you ever imagined, and that the only limits to your reinvention are the ones you place on yourself. So release the fear. Release the need to stay comfortable. Take the leap into the unknown, trusting that what awaits you is greater than anything you are leaving behind. You were not meant to stay small. You were not meant to settle. You were meant to grow, to expand, to become. Reinvent yourself, and in doing so, show others that they too can let go of fear and comfort to embrace the life they were meant to live. Reinvention is not an isolated act. It is not a one-time decision or a fleeting moment of courage. It is a lifelong commitment to growth, a continuous process of becoming. To truly reinvent yourself, you must embrace the idea that change is not something you do once and for all. It is something you live. It is a way of being, a mindset, a willingness to adapt and evolve with each new chapter of life. Life itself is dynamic. It shifts and flows, presenting us with opportunities, challenges, and transformations at every turn. To resist change is to resist life. But to embrace it, to lean into it, is to open yourself to the boundless potential that exists within you. Reinvention is not about perfection or achieving a final version of yourself. It is about progress, about continually striving to be better, to learn more, to grow deeper. But this journey requires intentionality. Reinvention does not happen by accident. It begins with a decision to take ownership of your life, to refuse to let circumstances dictate your story, to actively shape who you are and who you want to become. It is a commitment to yourself, a promise to honor your dreams and pursue them with purpose. And while the journey is deeply personal, it is also interconnected. The changes you make in yourself ripple outward, touching the lives of those around you. When you live with purpose, when you choose to grow, you inspire others to do the same. Your reinvention becomes a beacon, a source of hope and encouragement for those who are searching for their own path. Living a life of reinvention means being willing to let go of what no longer serves you, to embrace the new, and to trust in the process of change. It means being